what is next for Naoya Inoue after knocking out Luis Nery in the 6th round?
Sam Goodman, apparently, because Sam Goodman, as Luis Porto also mentioned in the comments, Sam Goodman is the IBF challenger, mandatory challenger, and was brought into the ring after. And Sam Goodman is one of the guys that we talked about. Like, is he going to get the next shot? Is it going to be him or is it going to be MJ? And honestly, I think this is probably the better route to go because, well, one, boxing in Australia is having a moment. So there's that. Even though Jason Maloney did lose his title today, that was a very entertaining fight, and he that 12th round got dangerous, got real dangerous. Like Jason Maloney almost pulled off some crazy ass one of the craziest wins of the year. But Sam Goodman is undefeated. Is one of the best guys in this weight class, and he's got some nice wins on his resume. So yeah, I think in a way Sam Goodman is the next fight that we should expect to see, and I think that'll be sometime this fall, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I think obviously Sam Goodman is a really good choice for someone like Inoue, and that's what we're probably going to get. And if Inoue can get it done against Sam Goodman, I mean, his legend just grows. But I think there's two more guys that we could possibly put on this list. We know that we always wanted to see him and Akhmadaliev. We knew that was a fight that we really wanted to see. MJ didn't hold his end of the bargain
Lost to
ups,
Palos.
so that fight never happened. And then Casemiro, there's some real beef there. Those are storylines where I feel like people would want to see Inoue fight Casemiro. That's a fight that we've been wanting for an extremely long time. So before Inoue decides to move up a weight class, I think there's 3 names in this division that he can definitely take care of. And listen, I don't know if Cool Boy Steph is ever going to get a rematch. I don't think Nery is going to get a rematch. So I think once he gets done with this division, he moves up. And I think there are other guys that he could beat in that division too. And I wouldn't be surprised if he took over that division, Bryan.
Me neither, but watching him deal with Luis Nery's power, I was kind of like, don't know if I'd want to rush the featherweight yet, just in case.
You don't think he could take Brandon Figueroa's power, who won this past weekend?
He also knocked out Luis Nery in the past, coincidentally, in round 7 of their fight.
That's his one knockout loss was against Brandon Figueroa.
Yeah, before this one. And you also have like Venado Lopez at featherweight, who is also he has power. He doesn't have the knockout ratio that his power would sort of reflect, you would think, but because he's like 30-2 with like 17 knockouts, but he has power and he definitely has volume. So like I wonder how Inoue would deal with these challenges. I still think he's better than all these dudes because I told you featherweight is not like a daunting weight class. I feel like if you're now you're Inoue and as good as him, but there's guys with power that have titles and are contenders in that weight class, so it's dangerous.
Or even if you're fighting guys with a name like Ray Vargas, would be a tough fight. That would be a tricky fight.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's going to come forward. And then you look at the size difference as well. Another guy that I feel like we were talking about a lot is Robeisy Ramirez. And he ended up taking an L and we stopped talking about him. But that's an interesting name. Right? That's pretty much what happened. Like, let's be serious here. But yeah, some very interesting names. Bruce Carrington coming up in that weight class as well. Let's not jump too ahead.
Raymond Ford is also a champion there. That tactically, Inoue versus Ray Ford would be a beautiful fight to watch.
Yeah, we won't get too carried away because Sam Goodman next, obviously.
Yeah.
Still want to see Akhmadaliev, still want to see Casemiro. But I think those are kind of what's next for Inoue. And honestly, Bryan, I want to see him fight MJ and I want to see him fight Casemiro before he goes off into the next weight class at 126. Yeah, let's get to some comments. We're going to keep this a little bit short. Because I don't know how much more we can talk about Inoue's legend growing.
And because we just did a live show Saturday night and we're doing another one. I'll take the opportunity to just do this now. We're doing another one tomorrow. I'm going to be away for a few days, so we're doing this early in the week. But we're going to talk about, well, one, Ryan Garcia and what's going on there. We're doing that tomorrow. So bring the Ryan Garcia comments tomorrow. Today, we want all your Inoue comments. We're also going to be talking about Vasily Lomachenko and George Kambosos, which is a fight that I think a lot of people are annoyed at because Kambosos maybe he shouldn't have beaten Maxie Hughes, but he did get the decision last year. So this is the title
I
fight.
forgot about that fight. I forgot about that fight because that fight was so bad. You know what I
George
mean?
George Kambosos, like listen, he's gotten this is like his fourth big payday, I think.
I
Because the
think
two Haney fights, Teofimo Lopez, and this one, like he's one of these dudes. Like, no disrespect, I don't mean to compare him to Tobias Harris, but
oh my God.
you know how Tobias Harris, like you're gonna look at his career at the basketball player for people who don't follow basketball. You're gonna look at the end of his career and be like, he made how much money? Like that's gonna be how we look at George Campbell. So
But no, not even though, because Tobias Harris could have been like a number 2 or number 1 guy on a team. Like when he was with the Clippers, he was balling, right? That's why Philly went to go get him. And then he became like the 4th, 5th option, didn't have any points in that final game. This is not a basketball podcast where Brian and I
but we
do
can
this
do one.
often.
We
Yeah.
can do one.
Like
Y'all should hear the shows we be doing when we finish here. We be talking about hip hop. I be getting Chantel's football thoughts. You know
we,
what
we
I
did
mean?
one
Like,
last night about comedy. It was like the best stand-up comedians, but
yeah,
nonetheless, like Tobias Harris, he could be he should be a number 2, number 3 option somewhere, but he's
yeah.
not. And he had success, and he was that dude, right? He played for the Tennessee Volunteers in college too, if I'm not mistaken. Like
He's
he
from
was
Long
that
Island. I played
he
against his brother in high school.
he was that dude,
Good
and
story.
I just like when he went to Philly, his role kept on changing. Steady guy, and that just kind of changed. I feel like for Cambosos, we didn't expect him to beat Teofimo Lopez. Teo came into that fight not prepared, really. And then we're talking about the legend of George Cambosos. I mean, shout out to him because like he's doing its thing for Australia, but lost to Devin Haney twice. I feel like he could just ride off into the sunset after this. I think that fight, when we'll get to it tomorrow, is more for Loma.
Yeah, me too. Underrated thing about today also, and we're gonna get to comments to end the show here. Um, all the bantamweights champions, all the bantamweight champions now are from Japan. Because for people who weren't paying attention maybe or missed it, and I don't blame you because of the time difference in Saturday, Manny Rodriguez, fellow Puerto Rican, and I hold this skill in high regard. He lost his title, fair and square, unanimous decision. Said fair and square. I never say fair and square. Unanimous decision, and he lost his title. And then today, Jason Maloney lost his title. So the entire bantamweight division underneath Naoya Inoue runs through Japan as the super bantamweight division because Naoya Inoue has all the titles. It's just remarkable. But I think if you look at the bantamweight division, Junto Nakatani, like he's the clear best one out of everybody. Like that dude is dangerous. There's a world where in the future we get a Japan super fight where it's like Naoya Inoue versus Junto Nakatani, and that would be a lot of fun to watch if we were to get that. Let's see what we have here in the comments section.
Before we do that, wait
Yes.
till my boy Bam Rodriguez moves up in weight class, and we'll see if Nakatani's still that dude. Okay, that's all I'm saying.